Dear Elsanians, today we have a fantastic episode for you. We are joined by some very special guests from across Europe, representing ELSA Belgium, ELSA Switzerland, ELSA Portugal, and ELSA Luxembourg. Our guests will share their experiences, challenges, and the unforgettable moments they have had this year. And we will also dive into some fun topics and uncover interesting behind the scenes stories from the ELSA community. And first of all, and I want to express my heartfelt gratitude for accepting my offer. And I want to add the representative of ELSA Belgium, Ibrahim, had informed me that he volunteered to participate without me offering the invitation. And however, at the last moment, an urgent task came up for him, and he mentioned that he could join us in the midway through the podcast if possible. If he can't make it, we will conduct a separate recording with him and merge the podcast together. And yes, thank you, dear guest, for accepting my offer. And please introduce yourself to our audience. First, please, Martin, introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Martin, and I'm a member of ELSA Luxembourg, and I'm a national officer. My position is a vice president, personal development, and I would love to thank you, Sabina, for this invitation. I feel really honored, and I'm excited to see and compare our differences and similarities in this podcast.
Thank you, dear Martin. Please, Sylvia, introduce yourself.
Hi, first of all, thank you for the invitation, Sabina, and all of your words. My name is Sylvia. I'm the section from ELSA Portugal, and I think that's it for my introduction. Yeah.
Thank you. Please introduce yourself, dear Flavia.
Thank you so much for the invitation and also to your whole board. My name is Flavia, and I'm currently for the remaining 3 or 4 days the president of ELSA Switzerland for the second term in a row, but I will retire from my ELSA office in a few days.
Thank you so much. And today also we have special guest, our vice president for Moot. She will share the insights from ELSA Azerbaijan. Aysel, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to express my gratitude to our dear marketing VP, Sabina. Thank you for this amazing episode and getting us together this episode as well. So I myself, I am from Azerbaijan, and holding the position of Moot competition. And that's all from my side.
Thank you. And let's continue with first question. The first question is, what was the most unaccepted challenge your ELSA team faced this year, and how did you handle it? And what's your goal strategy for handling stressful situation within your ELSA team? Please, Flavia.
Thank you so much for the question. I would say for us, one of the most unexpected challenge was an external relations issue that we had with a local group that had a study visit in the UK, where we then had like a discussion with ELSA UK, and there were also other countries involved, for example, Ibrahim with ELSA Belgium and ELSA Ireland. So this was kind of unexpected because it never happened before and we didn't really know how to handle it. But what we did was always discuss it with the board and having also emergency board meetings where we can quickly discuss a matter just for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, which is easier than via WhatsApp. So yeah, I think the most important thing for stressful situations was always just to be in communication also with the whole board, update everyone, and get everybody's opinion on an issue.
Thank you, dear Flavia. Please, Sylvia.
Thank you for the question. Also, I think that for me, and speaking for me and also for the rest of my boards, the most unexpected challenge we had to face was 2 vacant positions. We didn't have a VP for human resources. We have that position. And also not having a VP for marketing. So we had a giant workload, and also a lot of us were working at the same time and studying at the same time while doing ELSA. Me, for example, I am working and studying, finishing my master's, and also in the NB. So it was a lot of time management to do, but mostly that because like our whole board was either studying or working at the same time. So it was really hard with the workload and the vacant positions.
Thank you, dear Sylvia. You didn't have marketing VP, but you have really amazing posts. I mean, as a marketer, I really like your like Instagram and your posts. It's amazing. Thank you for your answer. And please, Martin.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question. So for us, it was when we organized our study visit with ELSA Tbilisi. And despite all the preparations and everything that we put together to welcome them, they were not able to come to us because they had governmental issues. And for me personally, it was a bit more challenging because I was also in charge of the academic activities because we didn't really have someone in charge of that. And I had to organize 2 visits to the Court of Justice. And we had to quickly adapt our strategy because we learned very late that they were not coming. So we had to very quickly put up the applications again and recruit some local students that would like to participate. And unfortunately, we had a reduced number of participants and we had to cancel one of the tours. And I think that the best strategy to handle stressful situations is to prioritize, as Flavia already mentioned, communication and quick updates. And I think that when everyone in the board is informed about important things and about new events happening as they happen, we can make very quick and informed decisions. And I think that is something that helps us maintain a flexible approach to our events. And we had to experience that firsthand this year, unfortunately. But I still think it was a huge success.
Yes, perfect. And as Azerbaijan, like we are struggling to find a venue for our NCM, and the post already has been shared, and we have like more than 200 application, and the university we were in the talks they declined our like like proposal, and we considered changing the date, but if we did, the number of participants will decrease, and NCM is a very important event for us. Fortunately, we had enough funds in our budget, and so we rent a conference room in the hotel, and we will manage this problem. Yes. And we will continue with next question. This is a little bit weird, but I want to ask, what's the most dramatic, toxic moments in your ELSA team, and any ELSA drama stories? Please, Martin.
For us, I think the most traumatic thing was after our study visit, because we brought a coffee machine to the study visit, and no one really could take it home with them. And so we had a quick, not like a fight, but it was a debate on who was going to take it away. And thank God our VP seminars, she volunteered, because we were all a bit stressed after 3 days of study visit, and everyone just wanted to go home. And we had to take, so some of us had their car, some of us had to take a bus, and some of us had to go to work. And so it was, yeah, it was, I think, the most, it's kind of silly, I know, but it was the most dramatic thing that happened, because we're also not a very big board, so not a lot happens in ELSA Luxembourg.
Yes, but fortunately you will handle it, and it's really not your fault. And
Also, it's not very that big of a deal, I think.
yes, yes, yes. And please, Flavia, from my side, ELSA Switzerland like looks very polite, like everything looks so pink from like outside. I really like the ELSA spirit of ELSA Switzerland. Like from outside, really everything looks perfect. I just wondering that there is no any arguing, like any dramas in ELSA Switzerland?
I mean, of course, you always have also differences within a board, or like discussions in board meetings. So this always happens, and also to us. And I think especially in stressful moments, like at NCMs or ICMs, when you're in a stressful situation where you need to have quick decisions, you can always also have disagreements. But all in all, we always like then come together as a board and have in the end like a uniformed board opinion. So yeah, I think that's as much as I could share about dramas.
Thank you. Please, Sylvia.
Honestly, my answer was going to be the same as Flavia's. There's not really that much of like a specific dramatic moment or a toxic moment. Could be more like the pressure before an NCM, because you have to do a lot of stuff, you have to work and prepare a lot of stuff. But generally, we also discuss things together as a board and come together in a conclusion, I guess.
Thank you. And the next question is, how do you think your national group stands out compared to other ELSA groups, and any unique qualities or achievements? Sorry, please, Sylvia.
That's a good question. How our national board stands out. I think that from my perspective, maybe from this year, might be because I felt like in the past years, ELSA Portugal was not that active, at least on an international level. And this year, I think that we gave almost everything that we had to give and could, being present and always discussing during the workshops and ICMs and ISMs. I think that, for example, a really good example of great work done was by my Ascensier, by Rodrigo. He was not also only an Ascensier, he was also marketeer. So he was the one who was doing all of our posts for Instagram. The only thing I did personally was just like approve or not approve. He did all the work. So I think that might be from the workshops during the IAMs and things like that.
Thank you, dear Sylvia. And our marketing director is also participate your amazing eyes. And if you want, Murat, you can share your like expression about.
Yeah, it was a great experience for me. We met with Sylvia there, and yeah, as you mentioned, your another VP, Rodrigo, is also managing the a lot of stuff there. So I appreciate your work and wishing you good luck in your future. Thank you.
Just one quick note, me and Rodrigo are staying for another term. So
Okay.
if you are staying, you're going to see us again.
Yeah, I've elected as a MB member, so I'm the future vice president of marketing. So we'll meet.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, he is my successor. And please, Martin.
I think despite being one of the smallest national groups, our so to say, how we stand out, I would say it's the determination and the motivation that we have, because we consistently demonstrate our enthusiasm and commitment. And also, I think what was really interesting was our adaptability and perseverance that we could see during our study visit, because although we had these issues and they were quite significant, we were able to react quickly and to do as much damage control as we possibly could. Then also, I would say we stand out with our diversity when it comes to nationalities, personalities, and languages that we speak. And this is very interesting when discussing issues or some type of legal subjects. And then also something we're very proud of is our recent participation in the International Council meeting, because ELSA Luxembourg hasn't been present there since 2019. And so for me, that was a really proud moment. And I hope that the next board and the next generations will continue what we started.
Yes, I really appreciate your efforts, and luckily we meet in the ICM. Thank you for your answer, and please, Flavia.
Thank you, Sabina. I would say, especially this year, what made maybe ELSA Switzerland stick out was also our bond in between the board, or like the friendship that we all had, because we were not just working together, but I felt like also really a group of close friends. So maybe this was also felt by I cannot say this, but at least I had the impression that it could also be felt from the outside. And then I also think that all of my boardies were very motivated this year. So we were very active also on the international level. We've all been present to the council meetings and active in the discussions. So I think this was really a very engaged and motivated year for the board.
Thank you, dear Sylvia. And please, Aysel, I want to hear your insights. Like, what's your difference from other national groups as ELSA Azerbaijan?
Thank you, Sabina. I think I couldn't like compare our national group with others, but maybe the main quality of ELSA Azerbaijan for this term, which make it different from the previous years, maybe we have really organized a lot of new projects, a lot of new events, like ELSAcast International Court of Justice Simulation mock interviews, which is new for this term, and also legal English and etc. That's why I think we really worked hard, and it's the unique quality of our term and our MB.
Yes, also your amazing Moot court competitions. Thank you. And what's the most rewarding part of being involved with ELSA for you personally? Please, Flavia.
Actually, I would stick with the answer also that I gave to the question before. I think for what is the most rewarding thing in ELSA are the people, and also the people that you meet from all over Europe. And you first of all, you also get a professional network, people that you might be in contact with also later for work, but you also gain a lot of friends from all over Europe. And if you ever may visit another country, you always have a friend there or someone that you know that you can that you could meet or catch up with. So I think really what makes ELSA so unique are the people that organize everything.
Yes, thank you. And as Sylvia mentioned in her post, ELSA, who is ELSA? ELSA is us, ELSA is people, and that's the good point, yes. And please, Sylvia.
So my answer is going to be similar to Flavia's. And every time someone asks me, why do I spend so much time in ELSA? I always say just as simple as for the people. And I think that's the most rewarding part about being in ELSA. It's really the people you get to know. And also, if you are in another country, like Flavia said, you could visit them. You know that there's someone that you can see, that you're friends with. And honestly, it's just as simple as that, the people. That's the most rewarding part of ELSA.
Thank you. And please, dear Martin.
Yeah, so for me, the most rewarding part was the significant scope of creativity. So I had a lot of room to explore and express my creativity. Well, limited room, but there was some room for that. And I hope that ELSA Luxembourg will be able to organize more and more events. Then also, I would say the involvement has also helped me learn a lot, not only about law, but also about the ELSA related topics, so human rights and rule of law, etc. And then also the most rewarding thing, and there I'm a bit repeating what also Sylvia already said, but I think the high quality work and receiving positive feedback from the members and being able to organize something with the board, that is for me the most rewarding thing. And I think that ELSA also provides us with the opportunity to make a meaningful difference. Even if it's small, we can still make something out of it, and that's really, really rewarding to me.
Yes, 100%, guys. I truly agree with you. And for me, it's also people like in ICM, there are a few people bring me like a gift from their country, and I find this so cute and so valuable. And yes, the most rewarding part is for me, my friends, and of course you. And in the like national level, ELSA Azerbaijan is the most prestigious organization in our country, and being a national board member, like you feel secure about your future. This point is also the rewarding part for me. And I will continue with the next question. The next question is, if you could organize an ELSA event anywhere in the world, where would it be and what would it look like? Please, Martin.
Yeah, so some of you know that I'm a bit fancy, so I would say I would organize the gala in the Monte Carlo Casino in Monaco. And I would say we could have some very prestigious chefs come cook for us, and then maybe have a luxurious yacht cruise on the French Riviera. I think that would be really fun, but I don't know if there is an ELSA Monaco that could host this.
Whoa. Yes, it will be great. And continue with Flavia.
So I would really, really love to invite all the ELSA friends that I made all over Europe to my hometown, and to, for example, organize an ICM in my hometown, so that that I could like make my hometown in Switzerland, show it to everyone in the network. And yeah, I mean, an ICM is just an amazing event, so it would be amazing to host such an event, but also it's very, very expensive, especially in Switzerland. So I don't know if this is just like, this would forever be a dream, but I think this would be a very, very nice thing. And also when you talk about this with the hosts of the past ICMs, they always found it very rewarding or very nice to be able to show their country and their hometown to their friends in the whole network.
Yes, thank you. And please continue with Sylvia.
So if I could organize an ELSA event, it would be probably an ICM or an ISM for sure. The last one was already some years ago, so that's kind of my dream to organize an ICM, although I know that is not going to happen during my time in ELSA Portugal. I think you never know what could happen. But I would love to organize an Iberian officers meeting in the south of Portugal, which is actually also something we are working on. And if some of you, although are not from the concept of Iberian, of course, you're all invited, even if you're from Switzerland or Luxembourg or Azerbaijan or from any other country in ELSA. It would be great. So yeah, Iberian officers meeting in the south of Portugal.
Wow. And I want to add, like, my dream ICM is ICM Portugal or ICM Spain, like ICM especially ICM Lisbon, and maybe ICM Ibiza will be great.
Oh, ICM Ibiza would be crazy. I guarantee you that.
Well, the IB is still looking for a spot, so you can start organizing something, Sylvia.
Oh, that's tense.
As a trauma,
Yeah.
as a Azerbaijan, we have trauma. Thank you guys, and for me, I don't know, it's a little bit weird, but it's just my like dream. I want to organize like an event with ELSA Greece, with and ELSA Turkey. I don't know, we have a lot of like common, traditionally about meals, and of course everyone from ELSA can participate this event, but I want to organize with these national groups and maybe one day, but I didn't continue with ELSA, so it looks a little bit impossible. Guys, during your time as a member of national board, have you like a situation where you want to leave to national board, but and you stay in your team? If you want, like, not answer for this question, you can. And I want to start with Martin.
For me personally, I faced some challenges and disagreements. Of course, that's very normal for such an experience. I mean, you meet many people with many different opinions, and it's not always, you cannot see eye to eye with everyone. But I think that my primary motivation was always to contribute to ELSA positively and deliver certain high quality work. And as already mentioned before, for me, that was the most gratifying part about being an ELSA. And so for me, focusing on the prize, as they say, I was able to overcome any obstacles and work through them. So for me, there was no real question of ever leaving ELSA.
Yes, from my side is same. Sometimes I didn't work like easy people, like I really feel tired mentally, But at the end, it really worth it, and that's why I didn't give up, never. And please continue with Sylvia.
Okay, so personally, for me, this only happened once to me, and I was taking my first exams in November before the ICM in Tbilisi. And I was so stressed with the workload and college and ELSA that there was this one day where I was crying, stressed out, and I was like, should I leave ELSA or should I not? But it was just a dramatic episode and it never happened again. So other than that, I never had like anything that would really make me say like I'm leaving the board, other than just stress of that one time.
Yes, it's really so stressful. And thank you for answer. And please continue with Flavia. If you want, you can pass the question.
Oh, it's all good. Thank you for the question. I mean, I think I actually never really took it into consideration to leave the national board. I feel like, especially as a president, I feel like you engaged yourself for the work, and then I never even thought of this being an option to not finish the year. But of course, I agree totally with what Sylvia said, and also you, Sabina, that there can be very stressful moments. And especially for me this year, I also did the Moot court, which is also a very life-consuming project as ELSA. So I had 2 life-consuming projects at the same time, which was pretty hard, especially in January, February, March, in the stressful period of the Moot court. So I was also struggling, but I never thought of leaving ELSA. It was just I had a little bit less of free time in this period, but it was also for a short or like an amount of time that was limited in time, and I couldn't do this for like 5 years. But then the Moot was done, and then I could again fully concentrate on ELSA, and so it's always one step at a time.
Thank you, dear Flavia. Organize like a Smart is really difficult, and I really understand you. But really, you really do great job as a Switzerland. I like your posts and your like events. I really appreciate it, and I love your dedication. I love your board energy, and yes. Thank you for answer again, and please, have you ever been inspired or by the work of the national board of other countries? If yes, can you describe what kind of work it was, please, Martin?
So for me, personally, I was impressed by the work that I've seen from ELSA all around the world. When I came to the ICM, I really saw what was possible, because before I was kind of in my national/local board situation, and I did not really know what it was to have so many opportunities to organize events and to educate people. I think that for me, there were several boards that inspired most. So first of all, I would say ELSA Portugal with their human rights campaigns, and their most recent one against hate speech. I thought that it was really interesting. Then I would also say ELSA Netherlands with their national round of the ELSA negotiation competition, something I would also love to organize one day or be part of the organization committee. Then as well, I would say also Switzerland with their cells. I saw their cells and I think they're really, really interesting. And maybe next year I will be able to join. And then in the end, I think, and that is also something I've always wanted to be a part of, and that is a podcast. So I would also say ELSA Azerbaijan. And I think the most interesting part about this podcast is that it's there to inspire people and connect people, and that's what we're doing right now. So I think that's really interesting. And to summarize, I think that these events just show everything I said before, that it really gives us a lot of room to organize things, to educate people, and to just put our creativity. So it gives us the opportunity to show our creativity.
Thank you, dear Martin. Also, ELSA Luxembourg, ELSA Portugal, ELSA Switzerland, and the other national groups really doing great jobs. And that's why ELSA is like very important role in the community. And for me, thank you for your kind words. Like I was really surprised, like my project ELSAcast became popular. For example, in ICM, I saw that there are some people like they have ELSA cast stickers, and also Ibrahim's compute on the in Ibrahim computers, and that was really honored me. Like my podcast like became popular and inspired someone. I think my mission is. Thank you for your kind answer, and please continue with.
Thank you, Martin, for the shout out about the human rights campaign. Nothing would have been possible, like none of this, without our VP for AA, Anna, and all of our local groups as well. They all worked really hard for this. So thanks again. And I think that all of the national boards and also do a great job. That amazes me. Also, the cells in I wish I was there as well. Like those swims in the lake, I wish I was there as well. I was jealous when I saw the Instagram stories. And I think that like specifically a board that shocks me is ELSA Germany, because they have 43 local groups and still they manage to do all the work. The local groups work a lot as well. A lot of them are present in IAMs, and they also party a lot. So it's like a whole balance, a perfect balance, and I could not do it, I think. And yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, dear Sylvia. And I really like admire the beauty of Switzerland. And one day I will definitely come to Switzerland. Thank you so much for your answer. And please continue with Flavia.
First of all, thank you all for your kind words. You're all also invited to visit us also besides ELSA events, just as a disclaimer, if you ever come to Switzerland. And I think I cannot really add something new, because I agree totally with what has been said by Martin and Sylvia. It's not like one specific national board that inspires me, but I think every national board has something that is inspiring for every other national group. And I actually would have also made the same examples as Martin already did. Also the AHRC campaign, for example, of ELSA Portugal, or the podcast that we're right now doing from ELSA Azerbaijan, especially these special projects that not every national group has. I find this very inspiring. And I would also have mentioned, for example, ELSA Germany or also ELSA Poland, who work professionally just as the IB, which is a whole different work than what all the other national boards do, where we also have the university besides ELSA. And ELSA Germany does it full time and only lives for ELSA for a whole year. So this is really something different. And this is also why they can get so much more work done or discuss every topic in more depth, which is very inspiring. But there are also very way more mentionings or examples that we could do. There is really no national group to be left out. For example, also the ESG report that ELSA Belgium made is something very new. So yeah, I cannot list all the examples.
Thank you, dear Flavia. And I just want to ask you, like each of you, how many hours a day do you dedicate to ELSA? Like for us, as a marketer, half of my day goes to ELSA, like it's every day, and like even holidays, even exam weeks. There is no a single day that I don't spend solving ELSA problems, and I just wondered that how many hours a day do you dedicate in your national group? Flavia, please.
So I already got asked this question so many times, and I still don't know how to answer it because I do not count the hours. But as you said, it's like every day, it's always present, and you never really, yeah, you're always doing ELSA work, and especially as it is also on WhatsApp, for example, the communication, and often your co-workers are also your friends, so everything is a bit mixed, so you don't really have working hours, and it happens that at 11 p.m. you're still working on something for ELSA and not just in the working hours. So yeah, I really cannot say it, but I just know that my boyfriend is very happy that I am having the end of my term in 4 days, and that we can have some holidays without ELSA work maybe sometime.
Yes, as Elsanians, we really don't have social life. This is common for everyone, I think. And thank you for your answer. And please, Sylvia.
Okay, so about the hours, I can't say like specifically how many hours I spend in ELSA as well. It's like Flavia said, everything is mixed. So every day, also like you said, Sabina, you're doing something for ELSA. Sometimes it doesn't take like half a day for me. Some days could take the whole day for me. It depends on what's coming up, what's happening, what is not happening. And yeah. And also, when I had a boyfriend in the beginning of my term as a section on the national board, I had a lot of marital problems because it seems like ELSA becomes like, so it has like a deep part in your life where it's like your priority. So sometimes it's hard to do everything, and it's like I'm married to ELSA, you know? I have like a marital status to ELSA.
I truly agree with you. Like, and please continue with dear Martin.
Well, I always try to find a balance, but I would also say I cannot tell you exactly how many hours because I also count the hours where I talk to people to join us. So all the publicity and all those things, I would say it's a 24/7 kind of situation. It's always there, and I hope it becomes even more for Luxembourg with the years, but I hope we can also find some kind of balance because I also notice that, for example, academically, sometimes it's difficult, especially when you have to organize an event. But I think that if you do it with people you can trust and people that are as dedicated as you are, there's not really a time you can put on the engagement.
Thank you, dear Martin. And I really have no doubt you make ELSA Luxembourg great again and again. And continue with the next question. How did your experience at ELSA shape and change your character? What change did you see when you compare your personality before and now? And continue with Sylvia, please.
I think that before I joined ELSA, I was in the middle of my law degree. So it's like all I was doing was the degree itself, the bachelor's degree. And I felt like I could do more. So I got to know ELSA better and ran for the local group back in Lisbon, then the national board. And I think that what changed more in my personality was actually I was always an extrovert, but before I was more of an introvert. It's like I really love talking to people and socializing and stuff, but I felt that before I would do it less with people that I didn't know, and now I do more. It's like, for example, in IAMs, you don't know someone, but it's like you feel like you have a free pass to go there and just get to know those persons, and always some adventure happens. Martin can tell in the ICM in Greece, we had a lot of adventures during the socials and we didn't know like each other, but we got to. So I think for me it's the introvert part just vanishing completely.
Yes, for my side, I also like same with you. I'm introvert before ELSA, and no, like I became a social, and ELSA is like a life school for me, changed me a lot. Like you can't imagine how changed me. Of course the better, and I will be always grateful ELSA for this. And thank you for answer. Please continue with Martin.
So for me, there was a significant change in my character, because first of all, I learned to be more resilient and adaptable. I also learned to balance my perfectionism with patience. So I had to really recognize that progress is more valuable than doing everything very perfect. And then my problem-solving skills and the ability to handle pressure also improved. And I think what ELSA helped me the most with was to evolve from a individually focused person to someone who also values collective success and continuous learning. Because before I was more concentrated on the academics and I was into law, but into the theoretical part of law. And I think that ELSA gave me a lot of, first of all, opportunities, and second of all, some friends for life, I hope. So that changed a lot in my personality and in me as a person.
Yes, please.
But you already said so many amazing things that I would also have said. Like, as you said, Sabina, that it's just a school for life, ELSA, because you learn, as Martin also said, you learn how to act under pressure, handle stressful situations, and or at least I think I also became more confident because you have to speak in front of the whole national network and also in front of the international network and interact with all the people. So yeah, it's really something that teaches you how to handle a crisis management. In a project, there is always something that cannot work well last minute or some emergencies, so you know how to handle all these things.
Thank you so much, dear Flavia. As you mentioned, really the confidence is the good point, because after ELSA, I really became really more confident, and I like accept my own sides like as I am, and yes, that's the good point. And thank you again, and continue with next question. What methods do you as a board use for team building, and do you face any transition-related problem, and how did you solve it? Martin, please.
So for team building, because most of the board members, we're pretty busy. There are people working, there are people studying the whole time. Where now less, but usually we do Zoom meetings where we discuss ongoing projects and we see if everyone is okay with everything happening. Then, if the schedules allow, we also organize sometimes a lunch or a brunch gathering where we can just discuss things or just see each other. And then the most recent instance was when we went to have lunch with the new elected board members to celebrate and also to get to know each other better. And there we were also able to discuss the transitional period, sorry. And for now, we haven't really faced any significant transition problems because we will hold everything via Zoom because everyone is kind of everywhere right now with the vacations going on and the holidays and the internships and everything. So we're going to try to make this via Zoom and to sort of divide the responsibilities between the old board members and to be able to educate the new board on their upcoming roles and objectives.
Thank you, dear Martin. And please continue with Sylvia.
Okay, so for the team building part first, we usually have very long online board meetings. So if we start a board meeting at 9, we are most likely to end it at 1 a.m. And during that board meeting, we always get lost somewhere, like after the first hour or the first 2 hours. And during half an hour, we are just chit-chatting. That's our team building. Or sometimes, for example, we are divided between Lisbon and Braga, in the north of Portugal. So sometimes or either we go to Braga and we stay, for example, at Anna's place in Viana do Castelo, like all together and gather up, or either we go either to my place in Lisbon or to Carolina's, our president's place in Lisbon, and just gather up and make some homemade dinner, or we are always contacting each other every day through WhatsApp as well. So the gatherings are our team buildings, basically.
Thank you, dear Sylvia. And please, dear Flavia.
As you already mentioned, also in ELSA Switzerland, we are especially trying to do the team building by seeing each other in person, because the board meetings are also online and we're all over Switzerland, the whole national board. So I tried this year with the board that we can see each other in person at least once a month. So in every month where we didn't have a national meeting or an international meeting, we did a dinner. Also at someone's place. Once it was at Aliena's, we did the Christmas dinner in Zurich, so it was more in the German-speaking part. Or, for example, like at the very end, right before Aliena left for the international board in Brussels, we did a barbecue at my place, which is closer to the French-speaking part. So we're trying to also move the physical gatherings so that everybody can attend. And regarding transition, I think there was also an issue until now that we don't really have that much material in ELSA Switzerland, at least not written material. So what we also try to do this year is to not only give the transition orally, but really that everything that we said is.
Thank you, dear Flavia. And the next question, if you had a chance to form an alliance of ELSA groups, which groups would you choose and why? I want to start with Flavia.
That's a funny question, as we already have the famous swag coalition with Switzerland, Austria, and Germany. So obviously this makes sense because of the language, that all our countries speak the same language and have a bit of the same cultural and traditional background. So often we are also of the same opinion, not always, obviously, but this is maybe why historically this group was formed. But as our board is not entirely German speaking, but we also have the French speaking part, we already thought about also collaborating with the French speaking national groups for the past years. Until now, there's nothing like really structured as with swag, but this is really something to explore. So also ELSA France, ELSA Luxembourg, ELSA Belgium.
Yeah, it was so cool. Thank you for answer, and continue with Martin, please.
I personally don't have a favorite. For the languages, I think I would be flexible to collaborate with everyone. And I think personally, I'm always open to new collaborations. And I think that every group has their own unique talent and how they do things. So I think personally I would collaborate with everyone because either ways we're a very small board, so we cannot really impose ourselves. So if we have any opportunity, we grab it as soon as we can. So I'm open to any kind of collaborations.
Thank you, dear Martin. And please, Sylvia.
Okay, so for ELSA Portugal, we, of course, of course. So for ELSA Portugal, we actually in ICM Tbilisi, we had this kind of alliance formed with ELSA Malta, and we got this thing called Maltugal, which is Malta and Portugal. So if we were to form an alliance, we kind of have one with ELSA Malta, but we wanted to do also something. This all came up in ICM Tbilisi. I don't know what happens, but a lot happens. And us, ELSA Portugal and ELSA Malta and ELSA Greece wanted to do something called an ELSA event called MOM, Mediterranean Officers Meeting. Although Portugal is not really in the Mediterranean Sea, we wanted to do a MOM. And we had an island chosen already and on a farm, and everything was already set up like during the ICM. We were just talking about it. And I was kind of scared of it, not gonna lie. But I think it would be amazing. Yeah.
Flavia or
Oh yeah, thank you for giving me back the floor. I just wanted to add upon what Martin said, that like of course ELSA Switzerland also is open to collaborate with everyone. It's just like that we have this tradition of the swag collaboration with the swag pre-party and these things. But this year we also, for example, collaborated with ELSA Ireland, or always when there are requests of if we can do an event together, or also depending on the boards who then talks together at ICMs or is working on proposals or on statements. This always changes a bit, so it's nothing fixed alliances. I think it's always alliances that form on the spot.
I just want to add something as well. Also, Portugal is also open for collaborations. And fun fact is that Gabi, the new president of ELSA Switzerland, speaks Portuguese. And now I dropped the mic.
Exactly. I think he would be very open for a collaboration.
And I want to say, Sylvia, obrigada.
That was perfect. Obrigado.
Obrigada, yeah. And thank you. For my side, our best friend we are also open for collaboration with any national groups, but like for my opinion, ELSA Turkey and ELSA Azerbaijan is much close because we like understand each other when we are like speak Azerbaijani, they are like speak Turkish. We are like language is so same, and we also have same things with ELSA Greece, and that's why this is kind of like a alliance, but this is kind of like an also collaboration. But as you mentioned, as ELSA Azerbaijan, we are also open for any collaboration. And I also really jealous of ELSA Malta because they have promotional video with Red Bull. This is kind of like very cool video because they are the face of Red Bull. Did you see it, Guy? This is so cool, and I really like want to be a part of this video. And thank you for your answers. And Flavia, if you want to add something, you can.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to add something to not get one head shorter by my Nordic friends who might listen to the podcast, because also Switzerland, of course, also has not that new, but a pretty newer collaboration with ELSA EFTA, well, ELSA Norway and ELSA Iceland. So just that I also mentioned this, because of course we are very much collaborating with these Nordic countries, and it's a very good collaboration. So I should really mention it.
Thank you again. And with this regard, I also want to say ELSA Lithuania, we are doing so much collaboration with them in this year. And the next question, maybe last one, not last one. If your national group had an anthem, what song would it be and why?
Oh, I think that it would be the theme from How I Met Your Mother. I'll be there for you. Yeah, we got that song fixed in the beginning of the term. And since then, that was just the board song. And I think it makes sense. Like, we should be there for each other, you know? And just like the whole comic part of it, and yeah.
Thank you, dear Sylvia, and continue with Martin.
I think for us it would be Stronger by Kelly Clarkson, because it shows really that we are able to overcome any struggle and that we come out stronger after this, and that whatever happens and with whatever we're faced, we handle the situation with what we have and we make something out of it. And so I think that would be the most the most fitting song for this year's ELSA term for ELSA Luxembourg.
Truly inspiring. Thank you for your answer. And continue with Flavia.
I think for ELSA Switzerland, the choice would be easy. It would be more energy, more passion, more footwork, because we did a reel, or Lydia, our marketeer, did a reel at ICM Tbilisi. Actually, this was just in like 1 minute or 2 minutes. She had the idea and the whole concept, and we were just dancing right before leaving the hotel. And then she posted it on our fun account, and since then it's it's kind of our thing that we then brought again at our NCM, and then we also put it into our ELSA Vision performance. So this would be our song for the year.
Yes, I remember your ELSA Vision performance, and it was great. And when I saw Lydia, I always like remember the more passion, more energy. She's so energetic, so kind. And also as ELSA Azerbaijan, I think we have two in every our gullible, like in Azerbaijani language, biz mehriban aileyi in English, like we are kind family. This is our song. We always like song this this music, and also a little bit iconic, but the music of Everybody Wants to World, because like there are some power games, like some competitive things in ELSA, and that's why I just want to say this. I think, and the other song is Everybody Wants to Rule the World, because like everybody like really wants to rule ELSA and our organization like a little bit competitive. That's why I say this. And yes, this is last question. And the last question, do you aspire to become an IB member in the future? Why or why not? Start with Sylvia.
This is a tough question.
Sorry.
Actually, no, it's okay. It's okay. Actually, yes, I do aspire. Sorry, Sabina.
I want to, I'm sorry, I want to like I continue with firstly Sylvia, because I always like expect this from Sylvia. He's the next Sejgen of ELSA International. I don't know, but I always expect this, and that's why I continue with Sylvia.
Well, I would love to, and as I was saying, yes, I do aspire to become an IB member. Of course, in IM, I would love to run for section of ELSA International. This year could never be it, but maybe next year, I think so, which is also the main reason of why I ran again for the national board, because I felt that I could use another year to explore more, to dive in a lot better into the work I have done until now, to do things better, to explore my capacity of doing things and time management, and in HR as well, and everything that comes with the area itself. So it's something I do, yes, aspire. If it's going to happen, I don't know, because life changes and anything can change at the very last minute. So I don't know what life is bringing to me in the next year, but whether I do become an IB member or not, I think that I will never truly leave ELSA, kind of like Arga. Arga was the president of the IB, and he's still very present in our NCMs as well in Portugal, in our spring NCM, in our autumn NCM, and during the ICMs as well. So I hope I would, I can be like Arga and just like stay in ELSA forever.
Thank you, dear Sylvia. Guys, you all have like international board member potential and vibe, and you all like Martin, Flavia, and Sylvia, and that's why I asked to you. And if you want, we continue with Flavia.
I actually never thought of running for IB, and this would have never been an option for me. Like, I really admire the people who do it and who are needed for this job. But I really think that, as Sylvia also said, I think I might never really leave ELSA, or like still be involved, maybe join the EIT, maybe help out as a trainer or whatever, and stay connected. But I think that it would have never been something for me to move to Brussels for a whole year and only do ELSA. without anything next to it. And I also think my boyfriend wouldn't like this to add up on this.
Yes, I think it's impossible like leave ELSA completely because you became an alumni and you always have a connection with your like national group and ELSA International, and that's the maybe difference of ELSA because the connections is never like lost maybe. Thank you for answer, Flavia, and continue with dear Martin.
So for me, for now, I don't see DIB being a priority because I'm entering my last year of my bachelor's now in September. And I also have some projects on the side because we have the selection for the master's, and I'm boosting my CV as well as I can because I want to do a master's in France and it's more competitive. But I live by the motto, never say never. So if the opportunity presents itself, there is an opportunity that presents itself, I mean, I would take it, but for now, I don't think it would happen soon. But if the time is right and if everything matches, then why not?
Thank you, guys. This is end of this podcast. Thank you for adding such value to ELSAcast and to ELSA as a national board member. Your dedication, your works is truly inspiring for me and for listeners. And I'm sure about like it will be very beneficial for everyone. And this is my last podcast as a national board member. And I just want to say as my last words, like in like 12 years or 10, our names will be forgotten actually, but even maybe 3 years our names was forgotten, but our dedication, our works will ELSA always like remembering. I think always inspiration for someone and always memorable. And when I just create this podcast, my like aim is this, and I'm truly happy for I do it, and I do it with you. Thank you for everything. Yes, thank you for being part of this podcast. And last time, with love, your Vice President of Marketing of ELSA Azerbaijan, Sabina. And maybe you have last words for this podcast, you can say.
Thank you, Sabina.
I wanted to say the same. Thank you for your work and also this inspiring idea of the podcast.
Yeah, also thank you for the invitation. It was an honor.